All right, so without further ado, let's get to this. We have none other than a 3-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion, a 2-time WCW U.S. Champion, a 4-time WCW Tag Team Champion. He's also a WWF World Tag Team Champion and European Champion. He is a fitness guru. He is an author. He is an actor. He is Diamond Dallas Page. How are you, DDP?
Unstoppable. How's
Unstoppable
that?
You are, man. Before we get into anything, obviously, we want to talk about DDP Yoga. You have just shot off the roof, up to the roof, I should say, and out to the moon with this. How long ago did you get DDP Yoga started, Dallas, and why did you decide to go down that route?
Well, it started out of necessity because I'm a guy who wouldn't be caught dead doing yoga the first 42 years of my life. But you have to understand, and I'm sure you guys have heard before, I didn't start wrestling until I was 35. My career did not take off until I was 40. That was right in 1996. And, starting in 96, we owned the cable networks. Really 95, Nitro first came on. WWE and WWF at the time, and WCW, we had 4 of the top 10 shows on cable television, which was just crazy. The Monday Night Wars just, escalated that through the roof. And all the hard work that I put in over that 5-year period paid off. Because in 96, right towards the end, my career started to take off like crazy. 97 and 98, I was on top of the world. I just signed a multi-million-dollar 3-year deal, and then I blew my back out. And what I did was is I ruptured my L4 and L5, and 3 of the top specialists, in that profession of spine surgery, they said my career was over. And, I had been doing rehab. As soon as I hurt myself, I went right to rehab, and I was in excruciating pain. So I was really doing really modified rehabilitation. And around that time, Kimberly, we were still together, she would try to talk me into doing yoga. And I was like, fuck that. I won't be caught dead doing yoga. And that's just my mindset. So anybody who ever has that mindset, I get that because that was me. And, I was going to the rehab, doing my things. I've rehabbed both shoulder surgeries, both knee surgeries. So I know quite a bit about rehab and a lot about breaking up scar tissue. But the back thing, they told me it wasn't going to, I would get better, but I would never be able to get back in the ring. And so Kim finally talked me into doing these yoga tapes, which everybody was like a stick figure. It was very annoying, to a certain degree because I couldn't do anything and they didn't show you how to modify anything. So I had to figure it out. And, in the next 3 weeks, I would be so glad I started it because I started to feel some flexibility where there was none and core strength started to come back. And then one night before I crashed out, I thought, well, let me do some of this yoga positions before I crash out to stretch me out a little bit more. And then just for the hell of it, I said, I'm going to do some of my rehab too. Well, I started mixing them together. And I thought, well, as time went on over the next couple of weeks, I started to add in like old school calisthenics, like push-ups, squats, crunches, but done with a slow burn movement, which means not like up and down, like a push-up up and down. I couldn't do a push-up anyway off my knees. I had to start on my knees because my back was so blown out. I was like totally crippled. So I just decided to lower for 3, like 3, 2, 1, then hold 3 inches off the ground for 3, then come up for 3, come down for 3, hold for 3, and then I go into this yoga position called Cobra in the down dog. I thought, well, okay, that'll help me continue to hold on to my upper body strength, at least continue to do something because I was doing nothing because I couldn't lift weights. And eventually I got off my knees. Eventually those 3-second push-ups became 5, the 5 became 10-second push-ups, became sets of 10-second push-ups. And what I learned completely by accident, when you're doing a slow burn movement, whether it's push-ups, squats, bench press, lat pull downs, I don't care what it is, you're going to contract more muscle doing it slow because you're isolating on the movement. And what I realized completely by accident, and it didn't happen right away, but I realized every time you flex or engage a muscle, your heart has to beat faster to get the blood to the muscle. Here's an example. If you're laying in bed, your heart rate's the lowest it'd be, right?
Right.
Sit up. What happens to your heart rate? It's going to go up.
Yeah.
Stand up. It's going to go up. Walk up. Jog up. Run up. Sprint up, up, up. All you're doing is flexing and engaging muscles. So what I figured out by accident, that I created a workout, DDP Yoga. You will never hear me call it just yoga. Not what I do, because I never developed this for the yogis. There's thousands of different types of yoga practices you can do. They're mostly filled with very namaste, reach your arms to the heavens type attitude. So the universe smiles back at you. We don't do that. I'm doing something completely different.
So they ain't no Richard Simmons on this stuff, right?
Well, Richard Simmons was more of a happy-go-lucky, he had a good gimmick. Paid him a lot of money, but, he's a walking gimmick.
Right.
And for what I'm doing is I've created a workout, which is DDP Yoga, that is kick-ass cardio, will dramatically increase your flexibility and help you break up scar tissue and strengthen your core like never before. But here's the kicker. With minimal joint impact. It doesn't beat you up. It strengthens you. And in less than 3 months of doing what would become DDP Yoga, I was back in the ring. At 42, they said my career was over. At 43, I was a heavyweight champion of the world. So I want to keep doing that. And that's how it happened. I eliminated all cardio once I started doing DDP Yoga. And I kept lifting weights to keep my size. But as soon as I stopped wrestling, I'm like, I'm done. I will not go in the weight room again. And I'm down like 225, mean and lean. I'm sure you saw me in a Hall of Fame thing.
Yes, sir.
I'm 58 years young, and I can do stuff. There's maybe 5% of the WWE roster can do the stuff I can do.
That's awesome. I've had lot of wrestlers who are friends of mine, like Q-Ball Carmichael, Stro, people like that who just swear up and down by DDP Yoga.
We have a section on DDPYoga.com that has success stories, people who have hit their goal, and we have under construction. And I love getting people up there and their story because they've already lost like 30, 50, 100 pounds. One guy's at 200 pounds, and still has a ways to go. And we put those stories up there so people will get inspired by that. So I'd love you to write it up, give me a show before and after picture or something, and we'll put you under construction. And then when you get to your goal, boom, we'll pop you right over to success stories. And that's how I find it. People telling me about it. Because we didn't send out like one of the hidden secrets, the P90X or Insanity or something like this. They audition people. And they audition over 1,000 people. And then they pick like 90 or so. And then they give them their food for the next 90 days. And they're all like, they go to New York and stuff. Think of what's happened. These are actors. They need to lose like 5 to 10 pounds, maybe 20. Boom. They're already personalities, the whole deal. That's why they're I guess you would call cattle call testimonies. Mine are real. Mine are people just like you right there. And that's how I find them. Or people tell me they're going to start and they go to teamddpyoga.com and they take the 6 pictures. They take the measurements and over the next 4, 6, 8, 10 months, a year, they track themselves. And that's how we get our success stories. And that's why they're so organic. But you got to know this workout was never about weight loss. And that's the funny part. The whole dynamic resistance thing, engaging muscles as you move from one position to another, was to not just stretch, but strengthen my muscles, my tendons, and my ligaments. Because I'm in my 40s bouncing around out there like I'm in my 20s. And if you look at WrestleMania 18, the match I had with Christian, we had a hell of a match. But you never know. I was 46 and he was 24.
Oh.
I did want to ask you a question, actually. I have recently gone vegetarian, and I know with a lot of other workout programs, there's a big focus on, if you want results and you need protein. How do you recommend somebody gets that sort of protein, DDP Yoga, if they don't eat meat?
Well, are you not eating eggs either? Are eggs out of your diet?
No, I'm doing eggs, I'm doing cheese, all that stuff. I'm just not doing anything with eyes.
Well, the eggs are awesome protein, but I will really encourage you to not get the regular 99-cent eggs. I encourage you to get the $5 organic, no anabolics, free range chickens. What they do to the chickens today, everybody in America should have to watch Food Inc. and Genetic Roulette to see what they've done to our food to make more money, because we know the almighty dollar is what rules everyone. To me, that I'm making a really comfortable living right now, doing what I love to do and changing lives, I don't need to make bazillions of dollars. DDP Yoga at some point is going to be a $100 million company. I guarantee it. But to me, that's not the focus. The focus is on, making people aware. And, that whole team, DDPYoga.com site that I have, that once you get the program, you're invited to go there. And anybody can go there, even if they're not doing the program. And I love them to go over there and do it, because once they do, they start realizing, oh my God, this community is amazing. And they end up getting the program anyway. But the other, over 20% every day of my sales comes from friends and family. But answering your question about protein, eggs is awesome protein. J. Rob, he don't give me anything to say this. He's got an egg white protein powder. Awesome. Now, if you let's make a shake. I'll give you some ingredients for a shake right here. Take maybe, since you're trying to lose weight, maybe a half a banana, but you freeze up, and they say you freeze 6 bananas at a time. You take out a half a banana, you throw it in your blender. Grab some almond milk, the lowest calorie one, because that's an awesome taste. Mix it with some water, some J. Robs, some of the banana, maybe a scoop of organic peanut butter, or almond butter or whatever. Take a handful of almonds, throw them in, because almonds are a great protein and a great fat, but you don't really want to have more than an ounce or two, because every ounce is 170 calories. So it's important to know that. But you make that blended, throw some ice in there and make that a blended smoothie. It's delicious and it tastes great. As far as not just tastes great, it's healthy for you. And you're going to pick up 40 grams of protein right there. Or you can, On It has an amazing, you might see them all over the internet. On It has an amazing hemp powder, and hemp, like weed. Hemp protein is one of the best proteins that you can eat. That has nothing to do with, meat or anything. Another good one, pea protein. Like they've figured out, and I don't know a brand for you on that, but I know that pea protein and rice protein is actually good too. But the best tasting will be J. Rob's egg white, is egg white protein, and On It's chocolate or vanilla. The vanilla is almost like a milk chocolate though, and it's delicious. Both of them. So that's one of the ways you can get it.